Hello everyone and welcome back to Destin Learning. One of the best practices using Docker is to run multiple containers for a clean separation of concerns for applications. To make this process easier, you can use docker-compose to build these types of applications. In this video, we're going to look at how you can get started using docker-compose. So let's go ahead and get started. Managing multiple services manually with Docker can be complex. Docker-compose simplifies this by using a single YAML file to define and manage multi-container applications. This guide provides step-by-step instructions for setting up docker-compose. Managing multiple services manually can be complex and time-consuming. Docker-compose simplifies this process by using a single YAML file for configuration to define and manage multi-container applications. With Docker-compose, you can easily build, configure, and run interconnected services with just a few commands. This guide provides detailed steps for setting up Docker-compose and using it to manage multi-container applications. Docker-compose is a tool that helps define and run multi-container Docker applications. It uses a docker-compose.yml or YAML file to configure these services, dependencies, networks, and volumes. To install Docker-compose on Linux, first download it, make it executable, and then verify the installation. Note that Docker-compose is included within Docker Desktop by default, but Linux users might need to install it separately. To install Docker-compose, first download the appropriate version. Then make this file executable by changing its permissions. And then finally verify the installation has been completed successfully by running a command to ensure the correct installation. Docker-compose comes with Docker desktops, but for Linux users, as I noted earlier, a separate installation might be required. Here is an explanation of the docker-compose YML configuration file for a web application using Nginx and MySQL. It includes services, networks, volumes, and environment variables. The Docker-compose file sets up a web service using Nginx and a database serving using MySQL. The web service maps port 8080 to port 80 and then mounts a local directory. The database service uses an environment variable for setup and mounts a volume for data persistence. Both services are connected to the app network. The Docker-compose YAML file is crucial for defining services, configuring networks, and managing volumes in your application. To start the application, navigate to the directory with the Docker-compose YAML file. This will download images, create containers, and start services. To run in detached mode, the containers will run in the background. Running containers in detached mode allows them to operate separately in the background with minimal interaction. Here's the essential Docker commands for managing containers. It includes listing running containers, stopping and restarting services, and removing containers, networks, and volumes. To build custom images, specify a Docker file in the docker-compose.yml file, define the services, the app context, and set ports. Then run the build command to execute the process. Here's how you can view the logs for all the services and tail logs for specific services. Here's how you can scale a service to multiple containers. In this case, we're scaling web containers to 3 instances. Docker-compose offers key features such as automatic network creation, custom network definitions, storing sensitive data in .env files, and data persistence through volumes. In summary, Docker-compose is essential for managing multi-container applications. It streamlines deployment, scaling, and maintenance. With support for networking, custom builds, and volumes, it simplifies the development of complex applications. Well, that's all for this video. I hope it's given you a good head start to using Docker-compose on your applications on your Linux system. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye-bye.